Stupid nonsense. Are we on? Oh shit, we live. What's up, guys? Sorry about the technical difficulty. I had to fix my camera, guys. Camera was acting weird. The setting was all off, and you're trying to get your good camera to work, but this the camera that's a part of your laptop, and that one kind of sucks at times. So I had to fix that camera, guys. Welcome to the first open mic Q&A of scary spooky month, October. We are, what is it? It is the 14th of October. No, guys, I did not watch Halloween's End, so please do not ask me questions about that. I may watch it later this week or so, even though I kind of looked at a little bit of synopsis, like what's going on, and what I read was kind of weird. I'm gonna just say that. Uh, in terms of what's going on with Haddonfield as of late, I'm like, what the hell? But outside of that, yes, guys, I will be watching it. Guys, I will be checking it. I probably will check it out. So the last movies I did see, I saw Hocus Pocus 2, which I did enjoy. I did enjoy that. Uh, Werewolf by Night was lovely. That was everything I ever wanted. And yes, the review of She-Hulk is up, and I'm gonna let you know right now. I enjoyed that show very much. I'm not like the other people who, to me, they just looking for just excuses to look at it. And me, a little bit of the hate. I think a lot of people just never read a She-Hulk comic, so it was just like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, were they thinking this was going to be a straight action cartoon? I mean, cartoon series. She-Hulk has never been that. She's always been different from her cousin. Always. I love like I said, go watch my review. You'll see everything. But I love the who's who of characters they brought in. But there were some things about the show I was disappointed in. I will let you guys know. But like I said, I did not watch Halloween. Don't ask me about that. I am ready for Wakanda Forever. I am definitely looking forward to that. That'll be the last movie of Phase 4, and then we go into Phase 5. They said that Wakanda Forever is a time jump. It's going to be a time jump in Phase 4, so it is going to be a time jump a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how they do Namor. I'm looking forward to all this and that stuff. But like I said, I enjoyed She-Hulk. I thought Tatiana Maslany was great as Jennifer. And when I was watching it, once again, I thought, you know what? I wonder what the hell. Oh, it's my shirt. I wondered what the show would have been like if I remember Law and Order alumni actress Angie Hartman. She was always talking about, and I say this in my review too, go watch it. And she was saying all the time, like, that was the one character she wants to play. She wants to play that character so much. And I'm just like, I get where she's coming, because she played a district attorney on Law and Order. So I'm like, I get it. But I don't think she could have done what Tatiana did. And I'm gonna spoil it, guys. We got another Hulk member in the family. I'm not gonna spoil who that is, because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, new Hulk family, and I'm interested in seeing how they did this, because of course they only took images of that famous storyline, but a new Hulk member. Um, um, there's all these rumors coming about that Harrison Ford may take over the role of Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. I heard that rumor, and I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think Harrison Ford is going to take over the role of Thunderbolt Ross from William Hurt, who passed away. We lost a couple of legends. Again, more legends are ascending to the higher plane. We lost a great legendary dame herself, Angela Lansbury, passed away. If you were not watching, or if you do not never watched Murder She Wrote, do not talk to me. Get off this stream right now. I don't want to talk to you. I'm just saying. Angela Lansbury was a legend, and she has done it all. She did everything, and I was happy to see that. I was glad to hear that she passed away in her sleep. She was 96 years old, um, but she's done it all. But for 90s babies, many people probably remember her as Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. That was her. Um, but for me, kids of the 80s, we know her as and from Murder She Wrote, um, which was a great show. I never met her. I wish I could have met her. I've heard she was nothing but a lovely woman to meet, and I would have loved to have met her. And then, of course, we lost. I'm forgetting it. Let me make sure I get his name. And just recently, we lost. Uh, Let me see. I'll make sure. We lost Robbie Coltrane. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. The actor who played Hagrid. He was 72. Passed away. I got the news. A friend of mine DM'd me and said, "Hey Chris, Robbie Coltrane passed away." And I'm like, "What?" And then I looked it up. I'm like, "Oh my God." Um, it There are no details in the cause of his death, but yeah, man, he was Scottish legend himself. Another, represented Scotland to the fullest, in my opinion. And to see that, and for any hardcore Harry Potter fans, I know this is a big blow to you guys, and you have my humble, deepest condolences, and to his family and everybody, you have my condolences. Even to the Lansbury family, my condolences. Uh, but yeah, we lost some more, and it's sad. It's sad to see that happen, but that saying, legends never die, and it's true. You know, um, but yeah, uh, been doing good. Been good. Been getting some work done in terms of projects that I wanted to finish, especially for my Patreon members. I got to shout out the Patreon, because those people who are on the Patreon, those pack members of the pack who are on the level of Uber now, I appreciate it, and I've been dishing out a lot of requests from them. I just put up my top 10 uh, favorite supernatural, mystical Marvel heroes. That was done for Jimmy, one of the pack members and Patreons, Jimmy Gibson. You can check that out. I also put up the last one from his first round of requests, was my top 10 favorite cryptics or supernatural monsters or folklores of legends. So yeah, you go check that out. You can hear me talk about my favorites, like your Bigfoots and your Jersey Devils and your Dover Demons and your Mothmans and your Asawans and your Skinwalkers and your and, and your Wendigos. Yeah, I get nitty gritty in it. It was fun. So yeah, man, been doing good. Been doing good. Uh, New York Comic Con has come and gone. I did not go this year. This was the second year in a row, or yeah, that I did not go. It was fine, and unfortunately, I can't go to Baltimore Con. Um, and that kind of sucks because I wanted to go there, but it's just a year. I'll try to get to it another time. So it looks like um, MegaCon is the only convention I went to this year, 2022. But next year, New York Comic Con will be the 12th I think the 12th to the 15th, I think, next year. So I'll definitely be heading New York Comic Con next year. I got to represent, it's my city, my home. So usually I always try to get to my biggest home convention as well. A lot of good things coming out of comics as well, my dudes. Been checking out a lot of good stuff. So, Blade, the idea, check this out. So, the idea that once was going to be done back in I think 2015 or 11, can't remember, but Marvel reduced the idea. Blade is a daddy. He's got a daughter. They changed her name from Fallon now to Brielle Brooks. Instead, she was going to be Fallon Gray. She was going to be she was going to live in the West Coast, Northwest Oregon, but now she lives in the ATL, the Dirty Dirty, and she's starting to develop vampiric superpowers, and a lot of people are going to start coming after her. So Blade is going to be dealing with that. And also Blade is going to be a new series of Blades coming out called Blade Vampire Nation. So in the Marvel Universe now, the vampires have their own kind of nation. Yeah. And Blade is called in to help figure out who is trying to assassinate Dracula. I think Blade would want to do that real quick. So that's going to be interesting too. I'm definitely going to check that out. We got the homie Bishop coming back with a mini series as well. If you're a big fan, X-Men fan, but you love Bishop, Lucas Bishop, he's going to be running a series called War College, Luke Bishop War College, and basically it's him and Armor and Surge and a couple other mutants protecting Krakoa. So that's going to be interesting. We got my man, of course, the Silver Surfer coming back in a new miniseries with a new character to Marvel called Green Light, I believe, or something like that. So that's going to be interesting too. Renee Montoya is leading her own series called GCPD Blue Wall. It's going to be a series that's going to showcase about Renee Montoya rebuilding Gotham PD from the bottom to the top. Basically, because if you guys are not reading Batman, Renee Montoya is the commissioner now. Jim Gordon retired. He is no longer Commissioner Gordon. You just call him Jim Gordon now. And she's going to be rebuilding because the Gotham PD is not a serious is a police force in DC that ain't a good trust in them. There's a lot of dirty cops on that, and she's gonna try to rebuild it. And I'm looking forward. It's gonna be written by John Ridley, who's becoming a really one of my favorite writers as of late. Everything that man writes, I will read. I love his work for DC, and I love his Black Panther series. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Superman is coming back. Tom Taylor is going to be doing a new series for Jonathan Kent, and looks like Jonathan Kent is going to be able to kind of tap into some new powers, similar to like his dad. Remember when Superman had the energy powers? So that's going to be interesting. I wonder if all you guys are ready for Black Adam. And I don't know. I feel Rock, you should have never said it, but seems like the ending mid-credit scene of that movie got leaked. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I kind of know what it is. Yeah, it got leaked, and Rock was inanimate to get this guy back as this certain character. And I think you guys should know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I am going to go see Black Adam. Pierce Brosnan, I think, is going to nail Dr. Fate. I think he's perfect for that role. He talked about it. He said he and his sons were so like, they loved like Doctor Strange. And it was Doctor Strange and his sons that really kind of pushed him to take this role. And I found out something interesting about Pierce Brosnan. He was up for Batman. He auditioned for Batman, Tim Burton's Batman. I was like, whoa, really? That's interesting. So big ups to Ireland because Pierce Brosnan is Irish. Um, but I'm looking forward to that. And Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. Despite besides the race changing, I'm not. You know how I feel about that. I'm not really keen on that, but I'm always backing Aldous Hodge. I love that guy. That guy, all this great actor. I always look at him. I'm just like, I could see him as a superhero and something. And he's even gone. I remember I was watching not too long ago. I got up early one morning, and he was on Good Morning America, and he was talking about he's been trying to get a superhero role for a long time. He's been a comic fan all his life and everything like that. Him and his brother, and this was Aldous Hodge was up for the role of Falcon. He was up for the role of Falcon, but lost it to Mackie. So, and I always looked at him, I'm like, man, I think he could have nailed Falcon too. But now he's Hawkman. And not gonna lie, seeing him in the Hawkman costume, I was like, yeah, they nailed it. It's pretty nice. It's sweet. I'm glad to see they brought one of my favorite DC and one of my favorite comic teams, the JSA, into the bigger fold. Sure, it's not the full team. We got Atom Smasher and Cyclone in there, but it's cool. I am gonna check it out no matter the cost. I know a lot of people like, my brother even said, he's like, I just can't see Rock as this role, and this is a role that in some cases we have been fan casting for years for Rock to play this role. But I will say I do wish he had the pointy ears, and the way the one thing I am kind of confused on is how they seem to keep explaining his powers. I'm like, so he didn't get his powers from the wizard Shazam? Like the way they keep explaining it, it's kind of weird. And I see you guys rolling into questions, and I'm gonna get to your questions as soon as I can. But this is also me talking to you guys and hearing what you guys think of what's going on as well. I got to remember that it's not just open mic for you guys, but it's open mic. It's open mic for me, the alpha, talking to you, my pack. So just remember that. That kind of rhymed, kind of. But anyway, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. There's still some horror movies I want to see. I mean, I've heard nothing but good thing about Smile, so I definitely want to probably check that out too. But yeah, man, it's still good to be a geek, and still good to be proud of it because there's still a lot of things coming out. Um, yes, and the last thing I want to mention is yes, there have been some setbacks with Marvel, some of the movies, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and Blade now. And you know what? Once again, you're going to complain. I get it. But think about it. Would you rather have them half-ass these projects or put their full shit into it? From what I heard, the Blade script was terrible. It only had like 2 fight scenes and everything like that. Go fix it up. New director, whatever, but just fix it up. Give Blade the same respect that you guys are giving Black Panther. Okay? I'm just saying. Fantastic Four, yes, we don't even know who's casted. So they still got to cast people. I said it before. John Krasinski is definitely Reed Richards. I don't care what anybody says. I don't want to hear anybody say, well, he's not coming back. You don't throw that little teaser that they did in Doctor Strange and just say, oh, that was one and done. No, fuck all that. Fuck that. If Emily Blunt don't want to come and be his wife on camera again, I'll be a little hurt, but I can get through it. Johnny, Ben, I want Ben to be more practical and not, CGI too much, but yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah, those are kind of things. Those are kind of things that were on my mind to get out to you. let's look at some of these questions that you guys have. I know we're doing this a little late, but yeah, we could do this. Stay with me for an hour or two if you can, wherever you are in the world. It is 11:16 here in New York. So yeah, it's not even Saturday morning yet. So let's do this. Uh Cyborg, I always with the what if questions. This is funny. What was Zatanna think a man thing? Well, if she's not scared of him, then she'll be fine. If she's scared of him, she's gonna burn big time. Uh, what you guys saw in Werewolf by Night, that what he does, and that's legit. That's one of his powers. He if he senses fear and he hates that, his touch can burn you. So be careful with that. All right. Um, I don't know. Oh, that's being hidden. Why is this? Show it, damn it. Let's see. Michael Myers, Pinhead, and even uh, which which we had a lot of Michael Myers returns over the Michael Myers, Chucky, and even the Sanderson sisters. which which were which one were you looking forward to the most, or and which is your favorite? Well, if I'm going to be honest, I was never a big Pinhead fan. I was never a big Hellraiser fan. Um, but I may check out the new Hellraiser. Um, and as for Chucky, I haven't even watched season one, so I need to watch that. Thank God for Peacock and all that stuff, so I can watch it there. So I can't really say anything about that. It was nice to see the Sanders sisters, and it the ending. Once again, I'll have my review up soon of it, but um, I like the ending. It did kind of give off the vibe that that she did. I'm not go- that Winnie did care for her sisters. I did like what they did and showed them as kids, teenagers, and everything like that back in the time back in the I think 17th century or something like that. Yeah. So I did like that, but the Michael Myers is my favorite slasher. He's my favorite horror slasher. However, I loved Halloween 2018, that requel. I wasn't a big fan of kills too much, even though I get it. And I'm really skeptical on ends, especially what I read on it. But yeah, I am. Uh, it's whatever. It's kind of tricky. Apparently, Gotham Knights, the video game, has nothing to do with the theater. I know that they don't have anything to do at crap show. Should we expect a comic review as well as a video game review? Uh, well, it'll be probably a long time before I play Gotham because I don't have a PS5 or a Xbox series because they're only coming out for the next gen system. They're not coming out for the later systems. So there'll be some time. Um, as for the comics, we'll see because most of the DC comics I buy in trades now. I don't buy single issues anymore. Uh, like I have not read Dark Crisis. I'm gonna wait till that comes out on I'm gonna wait till that comes out. Uh, I'm gonna wait till that comes out in trade, and then I'm gonna read it. Sorry for that pause. I'm trying to get that word out. Let's see what else is Will Myers are asking me. I'll admit I watched Raw for the Degeneration X trailer, but that show wound up being so good. Do you agree? Raw has been on ever since Triple H has taken over. Taken over. Raw has been on such a big ascension and ascendance, and not a decline. I've been watching Raw more and more now instead of just watching the clips on YouTube and seeing what's going on. Even SmackDown has been great. Just finished watching SmackDown not too long ago, and just finished watching a little bit of AEW Rampage. Even though I don't watch Rampage as much as I watch uh, uh, their God damn, I'm forgetting their real show, their big show. But there was some interesting things on it, but some just, Tony Khan still is not as good of a booker. And I had this, and I know from experience now, I've experienced that those idiot AEW loyalists that don't say no bad things about AEW. Oh my God, we don't talk bad about it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. I could say anything I want about it. If I don't like it, get the fuck out of here. After Orange Cassidy won the Atlantic championship from Pac, which I was happy for. I literally said, good, finally. I remember putting it, I was like, finally, TK booked right. And oh, but he always books right. We don't talk bad about him. I said, should I go at this guy? Should I? And then I said, yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna. I said, Hurricane tag in, tagged him in. I was like, you take over. And I just started messing with this guy. I'm like, oh, so you're one of those loyalists AEW that can't say no wrong about AEW or it's wrong. I'm like, get out of here, grow up. But yeah, Raw has been on a great ever since Triple H took over creative control. We've been seeing good shit, and I'm happy for it because who should be taking over control of a wrestling show but a wrestler, true wrestling guy? Vince McMahon, his time is up. It's over. It's done. I appreciate what he's done, but his creative mind is not right for this era now. Everything has to be his way, his that way. Nobody can say anything differently. That's not how it works. Uh, I like how they reference China. Oh yeah, I'm glad they gave China a rub and a nod. I respect that. But it's funny when you look at all of them in the ring, and you go and then go look at Billy Gunn, and you're like, he looks better than all of them. I have to agree with Salamanca. He does. Um, Indeed. Any thoughts about that ending from the what? The the what? The rim. What is that? What is that, Travis? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey Chris, hey Nathan. Saturday night fright tomorrow. Saturday night fright will be done to will be up tomorrow. I got a I got permission from a lot of creators that said I can react to their works. So yeah, there's gonna be every Saturday is gonna be starting tomorrow. Saturday Night Fright will be back. So gonna look forward to that. Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. I'm good. What movie has a what movie has a best soundtrack? Do you mean what movie has a good soundtrack? There's a lot of them. Um, you name it. A lot of movies from the '80s have great soundtracks or something like that. So, but if you want me to give you one, Terminator 2, great soundtrack. Um, the fact that Galactus is somewhere in the MCU destroying planets as has me as we speak is terrifying. I believe the world the devourer of worlds is around, and once again, like I said it on my review of Werewolf by Night, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anybody saying they can't do Galactus. And I said if they just proved that you can do supernatural monsters in the MCU, and it works. You can do it. And Werewolf by Night, let's be honest, that wasn't a kids special. That was legit hardcore. That was TV 14. And you see him, Jack, just ripping ears off, cutting people's throat, biting, blood splatter everywhere. I was like, yeah. Tell me again they can't do dark and gritty. Get out of here. But with that being said, yeah, if you can do the Celestials, you can do Galactus. Don't hand me that garbage. Um, what what about Bridget Neal? Bridget Neal? She was almost, yeah, in the 80s. I wouldn't have wanted her as Jen back then, and I don't want her now. I'll tell you one thing I did not. I Another thing I wished Jen in the show was, I wish she was a little bit more muscular than what they presented her as. And I understand there was some that in the beginning she was built, very built, and then they told her to kind of trim her down. The other thing I'll just tell you guys what I did not like about the show. But if you want to go watch my review, go ahead. Uh, but one of the things I did not like how they did Titania. Um, I didn't like how they made the wrecking crew a joke. I hated that. I was like, that's um I didn't like that. I didn't um definitely, like I said, the wreck her being a little more muscular would have been great. The wrecking crew, Titania, I did not like because they really, that's Jen's arch nemesis, enemy, true arch enemy or frenemy, and y'all kind of blew it where she's more of like this model or social, you know, uh, social media influencer. I'm like, yeah, that's not working. She didn't even feel like she was even on Jen's strength level. It was just like, yeah, that's not working for me. That should have been done better. I really wish they had. Even wish the actress got into shape, like really bulked up, like gotten them like shape for it. I just wish. Maybe she did. She just didn't show. I don't know. It's just I wish it was better. Let's see. Caroline, I said, did you watch the show Heat of the Night? I loved Heat of the Night. My dad and I watched that. Grew up on Heat of the Night. You know, as a child of the '80s, a lot of those cop dramas I was allowed to watch. My parents let me watch all that stuff. The Heat of the Night, Miami Vice, Hunter. I still watch a lot of those shows now, thanks to um, Pluto TV. There's like channels that have all that. So yeah, I watched all that. Uh, I watched all those shows. It was it was fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. Um, Indeed. Uh, keep getting text messages. I'm trying to turn it off. All right. Mm, all right. Let's keep it going. 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 Let's see. Robin Hood Men in Tights still very funny to me. Yes, indeed. Love that. That's probably one of my favorite Robin Hood movies. I like anything Mel Brooks directed. So and that's just a funny parody of Robin Hood. Carrie Ells and that was hilarious because he was poking fun because that came out after Kevin Costner's Prince of Thieves, and I love that one too. But he poked fun of Kevin Costner, especially in the whole line where he was like, and why should the people of Nottingham listen to you? And I love it because unlike some other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent. And I'm like, yeah, he's knocking on Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner, I don't know what he did. You go back and watch that movie, and you're like, even Morgan Freeman pulled off somewhat a moodish or more accent. Somebody you can believe is from Jerusalem and things like that. Kevin Costner did no such thing. It was like, hell, America wasn't even discovered yet. It's just still the undiscovered land. And he's speaking American. I'm like, he didn't even try to give us an accent like Robin Hood. He's British. Like, come on. It was weird. But yeah, Men in Tights is still funny. Blinken is one of the stars of that movie. Cracks me up every time. I still watch that. I still watch that now and still laugh as hard as the first time I saw it. I'm not even joking. That still cracks me up every time. Did you watch the first episode of Chainsaw Man? I did, and I didn't really need to because I already saw, I read the manga, so it was a good adaptation. Fine, good, uh, everything like that. Did you see any of the female X-Men joining? Do you see any of the female X-Men joining the Birds of Prey? Uh, yeah, some maybe if they wanted to. Since it's October, William, since is it top 10 or 5 horror games you enjoyed scared playing in all video games. Oh, video system. I still get nervous playing the first Resident Evil Biohazard for the PS. Well, I don't necessarily get scared playing them anymore, but um my top, man, that's top 10. I'll probably have to do a video on that or something like that. But Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil is definitely up there. The Ju-on game is creepy because Ju-on just scares me pretty much anyway. But I'm kind of starting to get over the whole that noise she makes. Doesn't really creep me out as much as it used to. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about watching Ju-on 1 and 2 soon coming up. Let's see. Silent Hill never scared me. Fatal Frame kind of scared me. I don't like first person stuff. So those kind of scare me. Hell, even Resident Evil 7 kind of creeped me out a little bit because it's first person and everything is coming at you first person. Um you know what scared me? I don't know why it scares me, but every time I played it, when it first came out, I was sweating like a mother. Was the first two Five Nights at Freddy's game. The first one and the second one. I don't know why, but I would just get creeped the fuck out with those games. And they're not even that scary, but it's just like I start sweating, my hands start sweating. I'm like, God damn, why am I sweating? It was that stuff like that. And speaking of Five Nights at Freddy, the movie is about to go into production. They found a director from Bloomhouse. So yeah. What's another game that creeped me out? Um Until Dawn scared me a little bit, especially when they brought in the fucking Wendigo. Yeah, once they brought that in, at first I was cool with everything, but then when they brought the Wendigo in, yeah, I that creeped me out. I have not played the Quarry yet. Please do not spoil that for me. I have stayed away from anything of the Quarry. I still want to play that because that kind of goes back to basics from the past couple of games that have been coming out. So yeah, those are a couple. Those are definitely a couple. Let's see. Did you actually cancel the Jonathan Kent comic, Superman comic? No, I didn't. That I have that in trade. I have that in trade. I don't have it in I don't have it in single issues. Sean 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 Franklin. Oh my God. Wow, I was having trouble getting that name out for some reason. What's up? What up? Have you talked about Mario movie yet? I don't want to talk about that. Whatever. It is what it is. I like Jack Black as Bowser. That was cool, but I'm no, we're done. Have you read Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic book? Uh That was under who? Dynamite, I think. I don't remember if I have. Pierce Brosnan was up for Batman. That's funny because Adam West was asked to be James Bond in his 60s. Yeah, he talked about that on he's been since they all been doing like promo work for Black Adam. They've been on all the cast members have been on different shows and he talked about it. I was like, wow, he was up for Batman. That was funny. What what would Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate think of each other? Go read the comics. You can find out. Go read go read that. They met before. It's not a what if comic. That's a real they've met before. So you can go read it. Will you be watching Doctor Who Power of the Doctors coming this winter? Of course. I'm a Whovian. I It's going to be really sad to see Jodie leave. Um, I am interested in seeing the new Doctor, the actor who's going to play the new Doctor. I believe this will be the first Doctor of color, so it's going to be interesting. And with some cases, I find it interesting that a lot of people are fine when the Doctor does stuff like this, but it's funny, but when they do it with like Star Wars or stuff like that, it's like, oh, it's a big problem. Stupid. Do you think Black Lightning movie is You think Black Lightning movie and would I like to see one? Yes. I love the TV series. I thought it ended too shortly. I still think you could have got a couple more seasons out of it. Black Lightning would be cool. He is one of my top 10 favorite DC characters of all time. I love Jefferson Pierce. Love his family, everything like that. But it seems like they're going with another electrified hero, high voltage hero, and that's Static. And it seems like right now, even more, he did an interview down at HeroCon. That's a convention in North Carolina, in Charlotte. Uh, Caleb McLangland, who's in Stranger Things, said straight off when he was in him, he would love to be Static in the Static movie, and I'm all for that. Out of all the kids in Stranger Thing, he does not get as much spotlight as all the others, and you cannot sit there and say he does because he doesn't. Everybody else, they're everywhere. He's not, and I feel sad about that because he's really good. He's he's kind of the right age for Static. I mean, yeah, what is he, 20 now? But still, he could pull off Virgil. Um, you worried about Cartoon Network? Yeah, a little bit, yeah, because I find it stupid that you would. They say it's not going anywhere, but it feels like it's going to be different. It's going to be a different animal and not the same. I mean, Cartoon Network has not been the same since. It hasn't been the same since I was in middle school. When it was all about cartoons and not live action shows and all this stuff. When they were doing more original cartoons and all this other stuff. Now, it won't be the same. It is. It's not. Uh, Speaking of race swapping, I don't mind Velma being Indian and a lesbian as Mindy. Uh, okay, so your thoughts on that? So Mindy's version is just a whole different take on it. That's fine. But the original Velma, yeah, is in this latest movie. They basically say Velma is gay. She was having the hots for this girl, and I'm just like, I always thought Velma was bisexual, so I didn't care. I was like, okay, so what? She's gay. She Move on. Like that doesn't hurt the character. And but you have people out here that feel like you turn these characters gay, that hurts the character. No, it doesn't. And you think it's true? Go read comments about Tim Drake being bisexual or or Iceman being gay. Yeah, I had issues with it because to me there was no build or no kind of explanation or real clues into Iceman for sure. Bendis came out with that, and I'm like, Bendis, where is this coming from? What is this? What are you doing? Like there was no evidence of Iceman being gay. out of his 50 years of existence, Tim Drake, there are hints that he could be bi. And even just the way he looked at his relationship with Connor Kent, Superboy. It was like, yeah, he felt like they were brothers, but there was a very big admiration, love, and admiration for Tim, for Connor. So yeah, I don't mind. Tim Drake is still one of my favorite characters, and he's my favorite Robin, and I don't give a damn if he's gay, bisexual, or not. He's still That's not hurting his character. And if anybody has a problem, feels like, oh, this is gonna hurt Velma's character because she's gay, what are you watching? It hasn't. Uh, are you a fan of Hellraiser franchise? Thoughts on it? I just talked about that. I was never a big Hellraiser fan. Pinhead just never really appealed to me at all. No disrespect to Clive Owens, but he just never really appealed to me. Still pissed and depressed about Batgirl. I think to a degree, I think most of us are. That movie will never see the light a day, but you still gonna pull out that Flash movie, right? Fuck that shit. Do you do you see Black Adam trying and failing to pick up Mjolnir? Oh yeah, he would fail. He would never be worthy of Mjolnir. No way. He probably may pick it up with brute strength, but Hulk has done that too, or tried to do that, and still, it's no. He wouldn't. He wouldn't even try. My birthday's on Sunday, by the way. Congratulations, Caroline. What club are you entering, or are you still in? Do you like the idea of Renee becoming the commissioner? Yes, I do. I love Renee Montoya. I loved her since she debuted. She is my favorite version of the Question. No disrespect to Vic Sage, but I loved her as the Question more than Vic Sage. He's the original Question. Let's see. Who's your favorite Marvel female villain? Uh, one of them is Lady Deathstrike for sure. Lady Deathstrike's definitely up there. Uh, Travis asks, I was talking about the movie Above the Rim. Oh, Above the Rim. Okay, yeah, like that film. I love a good sports movie. Um, Above the Rim was great. That is kind of around my neck of the woods. The New York street balls basketball scene, especially up in Rucker Park, up in Harlem. Yeah, you go up there, they always have those tournaments up there. So yeah, that was good. That was a good movie. So what's Titania really like? Well, you want to know what she's really like? So if Jennifer Walters is Goku, Son Goku, Titania is Vegeta, always trying to be better than her and always wants to fight her. And especially in the later comics, she loves just fighting Jen and Jen was like, look, all right, how about we always come to this parking lot where nobody's around and you can just we'll throw rounds with each other, just blow for blow. She's just as strong as Jen. In some cases, some people say she's stronger. Uh, what we saw in She-Hulk was nothing what she's her comic counterpart. That's a she that MCU version of her is a far cry from what the comic version of her is like. And she's married to Crusher Creel, the absorbing man, the big guy with the wrecking ball who can touch and take on the element. That's her husband. So yeah, that's nothing alike. Um, Oh my god, I saw a question that caught me off guard. I'll get to that. Let's see. So you're do you think Thanos wouldn't wouldn't take Batman as serious a serious threat to him? Thanos don't take anybody as a serious threat. So it doesn't matter if he's a human or not. He's just trying to please his lover, Death. Don't matter. It ain't even about that. Does Thanos have a brother? Yes, he has a brother, Star Fox, and I'm not talking about Fox McCloud. I'm talking about he does have a brother. You saw him in Eternals. That's his brother. Let's see. That was from Christian. Mask and Play axes. Were you a Baywatch fan? Yeah, I was. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to my pack. Your alpha watched Baywatch from the very beginning. A lot of people forget Baywatch didn't start in the 90s. It started in the late 80s, 1989. And it was an NBC show before it got canceled. But I did. I watched Baywatch before I watched it when there was a different actor playing Hobie, Mitch's son, and all that. So yeah, I watched it. I did watch it, and I stayed on it for a while. And see people acting. Now you ask me about Baywatch, I may start to talk about it. Okay, so I did watch it. Yes, I did. I watched it and watched it and watched it, and I had family members that would ask me, "Chris, why are you watching this? This is stupid. Like you, it's just a story about you know, lifeguards. Like, what's so stupid? I didn't care. I did watch it. There were some good episodes, but once the original good cast started leaving, like when Stephanie died, I was kind of like holding on to like that when Caroline Yasmin Bleef's character, when Pam left, when Matt left, and they just constantly kept recurring cast like, oh, pretty women, a lot of blondes with no real character direction. I stopped. I was like, yeah, it's depleting. And then they did, the spin-offs, Baywatch Nights, where Mitch was him and Garner were uh private investigators, and the whole theme of the show was like after the sun goes down. It's like, okay, so when at night Mitch is a private investigator, and that I barely watched that a little bit, but that was where I also met where I saw Angie Hartman from. And then they did a second season of that where it got all supernatural, like Baywatch meets X Files, and I was just like, yeah, y'all guys are pushing it. There was even an episode where there was an actual vampire on the show, and she was a vampirist, and she had the hots for Mitch, and she was going after him. She was chasing him like she was like, "You will be mine." I'm like, "Yo, this is ridiculous." It got weird, and then they did Baywatch Hawaii, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm kind of falling out." But I will say, Baywatch Hawaii was where we got to see a young Jason Momoa. He was on that show, and then when they did the reunion movie, I did like that. I did like that. But yeah, over time, Baywatch, because a lot of the stories kept recurring. It was like the same thing over and over and over again. Like I remember an episode where people were getting hurt on the beach, getting attacked by something. First, there was one that was there was the shark. They did a shark episode, so they pulled their jaws episode, and I like that. That was early in the season. Then they did an episode where it was a real crocodile um in the episode that was attacking people. And for everybody out there saying, well, crocodiles can't survive in salt water, yes, they can. There's certain things called saltwater crocodiles, so they can. And then they did an episode where there was a man of war in the water. If anybody knows what a man of war is, it's like a it's like a jellyfish, but on top it's hard, and underneath that's where all the tentacles are. It just rides the waves. You Google it, you see what it looks like, and its tentacles could be like 10 feet long, and they get touched, you get stung by it. And then they did an episode where it was a giant moray eel And I was just like, what the hell is these writers doing? And it got so ridiculous. And I kid you not. And I remember this vividly because that episode just came on Pluto TV because there's a Baywatch channel just for all Baywatch. And the Moriel came up and it was trying and it attacked Mitch. And this guy had a set of clear the in the water, and the Moriel and he shocked, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah. So yeah, I did watch Baywatch. Who asked that question again? Mask and Play. I did watch Baywatch. I'm probably not the only red-blooded American boy that did not watch that show, and I didn't just watch it for the boobies and the booty and things like that, and the slow motion, like Chandler and and Chandler and Joey did. No, they actually liked the show. They would talk about it. But yeah, I did like I did watch the show. Don't judge me. What about Zombie Raid arcade shooter game? Um, those shooting games that I think I know what you're talking about. They always didn't scare me. But it was okay. You're talking about like it had like the live action stuff, and then you just shoot and stuff like that. I watched Dashi play one of those because it was like a 20th anniversary of it, and he jumped. I was cracking up. It was funny. Did you find the suffering scary? What's that? I don't know what that is. It, uh, I heard that Ethan Hawke was up for Batman once. Oh, really? I didn't hear that. Interesting. Doctor Who topic. Actually, a few years ago, someone parody joked the Doctor as black. They should be a clip somewhere in YouTube. Okay, I'll check it out. Will. What made you think Velma was bisexual? One, she's shown interest in women before, and she shows interest in boys. Hell, there was that even Mystery Inc. She was with Shaggy. It was like, oh, so yeah, I've always felt like she was bi from the get go. Just what about Manhunt game for PS? Have you ever played? Of course, I had it. I don't have it anymore. I do plan to buy it again. I had that game. I Manhunt was fun. One of Rockstar's earlier games. I wouldn't mind a remake of that game. That was very controversial. It was at a time. It was scary because that's kind of a little bit of the I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of where the what's the damn name of the movie? The Purge. It's kind of like that, you know. Which DC do you see? Which DC do you see picking up Mjolnir? DC heroes? Well, Superman can. Superman, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman picked it up. She held it. You want to see it? I can show you to right now. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There's Diana with Mjolnir. And she had, and that's right before she fought Storm. Even though, yeah, Marvel versus DC is not a good book to use, but yeah, I still think she could. And she actually lost this fight to Storm. And she lost it. But this whole series was about voting. You vote on who would win. But yeah, she picked it up. Who else I could see? I think Dick Grayson would be able to pick it up. I don't think Batman would be able to pick it up. I don't think Batman would. Maybe some of the Lanterns. Um, Flash, there's a couple of people, but yeah, Superman for sure, definitely. Um, he did that in uh, JLA Avengers crossover. He did that, so I have no doubt he could pick that up. I'm turning 25. Oh, you still in Club 20? Okay. What do you think about Lady? Why? What do you like about Lady Deathstrike? She takes no shit from nobody, and she is some of the fewest people in the Marvel universe that will go toe to toe with Logan. She's dangerous. Like she's kind of like the same reasons why I like Lady Shiva. That's the same reason why I like Lady Deathstrike. I want to see her done properly. I love Kelly Who. Love that. I have a crush on Kelly. Still to this day, I have a crush on Kelly Who. But what they did with Lady Deathstrike and X-Men 2 was no. She's not a mutant. She's a cyborg. Get it right. Uh D Mike, bro, did you see Jeepers Creeper Reborn? It was all right. I refuse to watch anything Jeepers Creepers, especially that's just basically saying you support a child molester. Nah, I don't. I'm not a pedophile. Nah, I'm done. No, no offense, but nah. Power Rangers topic. Thoughts on Trini becoming the old Red Omega. I haven't watched Power Rangers in years, so you're asking the wrong guys on that. I am interested in this Power Ranger series where we're gonna see Trini's daughter. I'm like, what? That's cool. No offense to you, D Mike, D Mick, D Mike. Just saying, I can't support a project where the creator and director, all that, the creator of that is basically a known. You know what? I don't play that. Um, what do you think of the new creative direction for WWE? I'm actually loving it. I love it, Nat. I love it. Triple H is doing right by the company, and he's doing right. He is he is doing everything people wanted to see. He's moving the plates along. He's telling good stories. He's pushing the right people, bringing back people that should have never been fired because of budget cuts. Fuck out of here, you chain smoking bastard. Um, or he's and more important, he's giving people back their whole names. I'm tired of the one names for certain people. I'm still waiting for Shotzi to get Blackheart back, but the fact that she's got her tank and everything, that's cool. So far, so good. And also the fact that they are acknowledging NXT, like that's another thing. Like they're not negating that. Have you talked about Mortal Kombat Snowblind yet? No, because I haven't watched it yet. I have it. I haven't watched it yet. I know that's with my man Kenshi, so I have not. I haven't watched it yet. Uh, do you ever listen, SP SCP stories or vids? Certain control. I've heard maybe not them, but I've heard a few. I do like Mr. Nightmare and all them other people like that. I do listen to that. Um, have you ever played Legacy of Kain? Yes, I have, and I wouldn't mind a reboot of that. That was great. Um, yeah, he was a child molester. Man, I'm done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could go if you want to go research into the creator of Jeepers Creepers, and you'll find some shit, and you just like, oh, that's crap. Just, I'm not saying you can't watch it. I'm not going to tell anybody because look, the creator of one of my favorite animes, Rurouni Kenshin, did some bad stuff too, but I love Rurouni Kenshin, and I can't. And I'm looking forward to that reboot or so. But you hear it, and it's just like, why would you do that? Like, I don't get it. I to the day I die, I will never understand the interest in molesting children. I will never understand that, or rape, or in general. It's like if a girl or whoever says no, no, but you forcing yourself on it, I will never get that. That's why I do not praise any of these assholes that get these shows, including Jeffrey Dahmer now. He's like running a new Jeffrey Dahmer show now on Netflix, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. You know, I always feel bad for the people, the victims of the people that man killed. Let's see. Okay. Director just should have get a beat down. Yeah, he should have. Aside from Peter and MJ, who's the best couple in Marvel? Well, you got to put Reed and Sue up there. You got to put. I would say Jean and Cyclops, but she has two boyfriends. She has Jean and Wolverine. She has Cyclops and Wolverine. They're in a Paul, I forget the name. It's a certain name for it, but they're in a relationship. They all acknowledge each other. I'm like, wow. Who else you gotta put up there? Well, Rogue and Remy. They're married, so yeah. Uh, mm, I want to say Storm, but she's had a lot of boyfriends. She's never had a. I think her longest boyfriend was T'Challa, or husband T'Challa, before they null and void that nonsense. Uh, let's see. I liked Johnny and Frankie Ray Nova. Um, I like Bruce Banner and Betty Ross. I like Nova, Richard Ryder, and Gamora. Yes, Nova, Richard Ryder, and Gamora were a couple. If you want to know one of my favorite gay couples or lesbian couples in Marvel, that would be Moondragon and Fayevel, the original Captain Marvel's daughter. I love them. They're great together. Uh, oh, and yeah, I'll throw that in there because it's still Marvel. Nightcrawler and Scarlet Witch. In one timeline, they were a couple. They were married. They had kids and everything. One of their kids is her name is TJ. Her name is Nocturne. Looks just like her dad. Uh, hey Chris, how's it going? So sorry. Here's a quick question. What do I think about the MCU's Werewolf by Night? I just talked about that. You want to go watch my review? Who asked that? Andre, go watch the review. You can hear every good detail about that. All in all, I loved it. That's a character I love. I do love werewolf, but I'm a werewolf guy. Of course, I'm gonna like that. I just put up a random question on one of my video shorts. Do you guys check out my video shorts? I do answer random questions that are posed to me. And the third question I posted was vampire or werewolf. What do I want to be? And I werewolf all day. Uh, are you glad that Ben 10 is not on the air anymore? They milked that franchise as much as they could. Yeah, I mean, you can say that about a lot of the shows, but yeah, I didn't care for that new Ben 10. They could have just continued with Ben be getting older. Instead, they want to reboot it. It was dumb to me. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it at all. Was that the song I heard? Yeah. Uh, uh, hold on, guys. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I answered Nathan's question. I answered Andre. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose where I'm at. Oh, no. Okay, here's another question. Andre asks me, what are some of your favorite couples from DC Comics? Superman and Lois. I always have love for them. They're the couple of couples, in a sense. Iris and Flash, always liked. Um, Aquaman and Mira, that's definitely a must. That's always um Black Canary and Green Arrow. I do love that. I like that. In terms of Nightwing, I know a lot of people like him and Barbara together. Not me. I like them together, but not as much as I liked Dick and Corey Starfire. I like them together. Yeah, if I was in the DC universe, I would be trying to hit on Corey all day. I would try to get her fall in love with me real quick. I'm like, yeah, that the orange skin alien. I want to be with her. That's for sure. Uh, in terms of Batman, I don't like any of his relationships. I don't. I really don't. I don't like his relationship with Talia. I don't like his relationship with so-called relationship with Wonder Woman. Bruce needs a woman that actually is going to accept him for who he is and maybe even be by his side in his crusade, you know. And if someone says, well, Batwoman's that, don't be disgusting. That's his cousin. Remember. So yeah, those are a few. I'll throw one of the teens in there too. Uh, I liked Tim. I'm not Tim. Yeah, I like Tim and Stephanie Brown. They were great together. But I also like Superboy and Wonder Girl. They were great together. Let's see. Do you plan on playing Scorn game yet? I seen a trailer for that. I maybe, I think all those things that's next gen games. Guys. I don't have a PS5 or anything like that. I don't have any of those yet. So, but I do plan to get a PS5. But you know, like I haven't even played Overwatch 2 yet. So I gotta play that. Uh, but I haven't played it yet. Ultimate Marvel has incest, just nasty. Yeah, ultimate. Yeah, they teased that real quick. That especially Ultimate, Quicksilver and Wanda were in a relationship, brother and sister. I was like, no, they're not doing that, and that's why I don't like the Ultimates. There are a lot of stuff in the Ultimate universe I don't like, and the Ultimates is one of them. I do not like that. that to me was just disgusting. I don't know what their deal was with people eating people and cannibalism. I was like, what the stupid. Mask and Play once again asks, are you liking, have you watched and are you liking, or are you the liking the Quantum Leap sequel? Yeah, I am. I just caught up, finished watching all the first 4 episodes, and I do love the show. It is not a reboot, it is a sequel to the original series. And I loved it. Not too long in the last episode, they kind of explain things that we never got to see in the original. If you were a Quantum Leap fan, when Sam leaped into you, we never really got to see that till later in the seasons. But we get to see it now because Ernie Hudson is in that show. And Ernie Hudson plays someone that Sam leapt into in the original series. He plays the character Magic. If you remember, there was an episode called Vietnam where Sam leaped into the platoon that his brother served in Vietnam. He leapt into an African American soldier named Magic, and they called him that because he could somewhat predict when a threat was coming or something like that. Now, in the original timeline, he and Sam's brother died, but Sam changed that. And he goes into detail of explaining what it felt like to be leapt into. And I loved it. They talked about, he said it felt like someone pushed him aside, but it wasn't like a hard push. Somebody like pushed him aside and it felt okay. And he blacked out. And when he woke up, everything was, he didn't really remember what was going on. And then he found out later what happened to him. And I was like, okay, this is good. It does. Sam Beckett is still very much a part of this series, even though the show follows a new time traveler, Ben Sung, but it's still good. And what's cool also about it is in the original series, Sam could only leap through time, through his time age. So he can only go up to like the 1950s and forward. He couldn't go past the 1950s. There were 2 episodes where he did leap into his great-great-grandfather who served in the Civil War, who was a Union soldier, and how he met his great-great-grandmother, who was a Southern belle. And then, of course, he leapt into Al, who is from the 40s, but here, Ben introduced a whole new algorithm into Ziggy, the computer, and it negates all that now. So Ben can leap anywhere in time he wants, and that's really cool. I'm like, okay, the preview of the next episode, he's in the Wild West. He's in the 1800s, Wild West. I'm like, what? So I haven't been enjoying the show. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I've been really enjoying that. I know there were a lot of people scared, like, oh, here we go, a remake of a show, classic show. But no, this is a sequel. This is not a reboot. This is a sequel. I've been really liking that. So can you imagine another alternate take on Ben 10 series featuring Gwen having the Omnitrix called Gwen 10? That would be interesting, and Ben learning like magic or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind that. Have you ever reacted to paranormal videos? Yes. Go look through. I have a playlist of all my reactions, and there's a couple in there that have paranormal stuff and creeps the hell out of me. So yes, I do believe in the paranormal. I do believe in that stuff. I don't sugarcoat any. Look, I'm a type of guy that believes in a lot of the unexplained, like cryptic zoology. I'm a big believer in a lot of those creatures. Not all of them, but like for example, I do believe the Sasquatch is real. Call me crazy, but I do believe Bigfoot is real. Or the skunk ape or the grass man, whatever you want to call it, because there are different versions of it all around this country. But I do believe in that. I don't believe. I love the legend of the Jersey Devil, but I don't believe that it's real. I'm from New York, so Jersey is right right next to me. It's blows. So, but I don't believe that there's a winged horse-like, demon-like thing flying in those woods. Even though I people believe they seen it and they trust. And look, who am I to judge them? I'm not. I don't believe in Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, because my man Jeremy Wade proved that what they could be seeing, what people of Scotland could be seeing in that lake. There's a species of shark that's jet black, looks very serpent-like, and when it comes up to the surface, sometimes it looks like it has a hump and it's serpent-like. He caught it. Y'all ever watch, river monsters? He proves monsters exist in the rivers. And that's the one thing I love about that show. He proves he gets it on camera like, yeah, these things exist. Them giant catfish or the paebas or all them things like them big giant alligator gars. He proves that these things exist. So no, I don't believe in that. But yeah, I do believe in the paranormal. I do believe in ghosts, spirits, and things like that. I don't like. I do believe in like very Native American cultures, like folklore and like skinwalkers and the Wendigo. I kind of believe in those things. Like I don't fuck with it, but I do believe in it. Um, like I love the movie Antlers. That was all about the Wendigo, all about it. Uh, Last question: do you or have you ever done top films of vampire, werewolves, hack and slash, or zombies? No, but I have planned to do a couple of top lists for those type of those things while we're in the month of October. So I will be doing like my top 5 or top 6, maybe top 10 vampire movies. Even though I'm more of a werewolf fan, I have some favorite vampire movies. Like one of them you will see on the list when I do it. You're gonna see The Lost Boys. I love The Lost Boys. That's one of my favorite vampire movies. I don't care what anybody says. Wasn't too much of a fan of the sequels, but that original, perfect. Even though it didn't even have blood in it like that. It was, when they stabbed them, it was like glittered and everything, but still, love that movie. When I watch people watching it for the first time here on YouTube, uh, I love it because I'm watching them. I'm just like, please like it. You know, that's how I, especially with 80s movie. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. A lot movie. I'm very protective of that era. So when I see people say they never seen like Beverly Hills Cop or or things like that, I kind of like, you ain't seen what? Like I was Malcolm and I were just watching a couple. They know Eddie Murphy from movies like Norbit and The Nutty Professor, and I'm like, oh, so y'all know him from when he was kind of taming it down. I knew Eddie when he was full blown, not giving a fuck. Like he was hardcore R. You know, so Beverly Hills Cop and 48 Hours and excuse me, and Coming to America and all that. I am glad that he is doing another Beverly Hills Cop, and most of the original cast is coming back. I am interested. I know he said he wanted to do this. He wanted to do another Beverly Hills Cop, another Coming to America, which he did already, because he wants to go back on stage. He wants to do stand up again, and all the power to Eddie. If he wants to do it, do it. Go ahead. Um, it's just I always have a. I think it's just scary now to be a comedian because it's like if you say this, they're like, "Oh my God, he's." Then you're in trouble. Like, oh, don't talk about trans, don't talk about gay, don't. It's like, what can you talk about without getting quote unquote canceled? It's like, as a comedian, I do feel bad for them sometimes. What's your problem with Talia exactly? You got an hour? Because I don't. I don't even have to say much. I don't like Talia as much. As a villain, yes, I'm okay. But Talia, stop playing with Bruce's emotions. Don't play with his emotions. Like you, you, you know what he is, and he will never deviate from who he is. But she constantly tries to change him or try to change him, and it's ridiculous. It's like, go on, bitch, get out of here. How do you believe in ghosts? How do I believe in ghosts? Because simple. It's not even just a feeling. I always feel that the spirit of my relatives are always around me. Um, my mother, I sense her presence around me many times. When I'm sleeping, or even when I get up in the night, and sometimes I swear to you guys, I swear I saw her at the edge of my bed one time, and I said, "Mom," and I'm just like, I always feel like she's protecting me. Always, it's always so. I it's the paranormal is it's just it's fascinating to me. It's always been fascinating to me. It's something I look at and I say, yeah, I believe it's real. It's real. It's things you can't explain. But it's everybody always trying to explain something with science, and science doesn't have all the answers. You know, I don't live in a very haunted state. There are some states that are very haunted. Anybody here from Louisiana? That's like one of the most haunted states in 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 the country. You know, but I do believe in ghosts and spirits and good spirits. I believe there's good spirits, and I believe they're bad spirits. You know, do you think we'll eventually see Sam Beckett near the end of the show? Because that will really, yeah, I was just talking about this with another buddy who watches the show too. Who said that? Nathan. And I do have a feeling they are building up to Sam. We're seeing Sam, like, because remember, he never returned home. He never got back. At the end of the original series, it said what Sam did for Al got him back with his fourth wife, the one that he really loved. They went on to have children. Al's daughter, one of his daughters, is in the show. So that's really cool. But Sam never got back home. And I'm hoping somewhere down the line, maybe not the first season, but maybe the second, if they get renewed for a second season or renewed for a third, then try to bring Scott Bakula in, because not too long ago was Scott Bakula's birthday too. And so, and I'm a big Scott Bakula fan. I've watched pretty much anything he's been in, so it is what it is. Do you Andre asks, so do you know how about some of the various types of cryptics from my neck of the woods? We're in Nebraska, such as the alkaline lake monster. I know about that, yes. The Alma Nightwalker, or the vampire of the Pine Ridge. I do know about all of those. Yes. Um, I know about all of them. I just did a video, Andre. A top 10 cryptic list. And on the list, of course, is the Mothman. I'll give you one of those. The Mothman, the Jersey Devil, the Asawan from Filipino lore. And even the do you know about this one? The Pope Lick monster. If y'all know about the Pope Lick monster, put the hand sign of, yeah, I do. Like, you raise your hand. That one's crazy. That one's crazy. Uh let's see. Someone gave me a small baseball bat, so I put it on my air conditioner, and as I was watching YouTube videos, the bat flew across the room. So I threw the bat away, and I thought I had no problem since. Whoa. and it was wood, right? Was it wood? What was it made out of? Because if it was like plastic, then I would say, but if it was wood or something, yeah, something was wrong with that. I'm almost 25 and still scared of the dark sometimes. That's no problem. There are a lot of people because there's still things we are scared of in the dark. Like, look, I don't like deep water. Like, I don't like seeing deep water. Like, I don't like even sometime when they go first person when divers are in the water. I remember one time I was watching this video and this dude jumped off the cliff in the water, dived in. As soon as you could kind of see what he saw. It's a fucking great white shark right there. I was like, what the fuck? That scared the shit out of me. I was like, ugh. Um, I'm not. I don't know if I'm scared of sharks. I've seen sharks up close, but I do respect them. And it's people get confused. They think all the time when shark attacks, it's the great white's fault. That's not true. It's not the white sharks that do the more of the attacking. You're getting attacked by bull sharks or tiger sharks. Those are the ones that are attacking more people than the white sharks. Not saying that the white sharks do, but they do attack. And a lot of the cases, what the problem with sharks are, they don't have hands, so they don't have the opportunity to investigate. They look at something, they can't just do this and go, "Oh, this is a mic. This is a mic. Nice." No, this is what they're doing. Biting. Basically, that's what they're doing. They do that with their teeth. They're biting you. Okay, that's what they call it, the investigation bite. And I seen a video where this expert diver says, "This is how you this is what you do if a shark come. You look at it and gently push its nose." I'm like, who is gonna do that? Who's really gonna do that? Go down and go, okay, get out the way, shark. No, I'm not prey. Who's really gonna do that? Like, you hear the stuff about bear attacks. Play dead. Cover your vitals, play dead. Who's doing that? Who's really gonna do that? Who's really gonna get down and let this giant mammal throw you around, bite you, and you're not? If you ever seen bears maul people, like, yeah, what we saw in the what's the movie uh with Leonardo DiCaprio? He got mauled by a bear. And that happened mainly because he was near babies. Mother bears, those are the ones you got to really watch out for. So yeah, but I do like those videos where you see, the bear. Like, I remember that video. I think the guy was in Utah or so, and he was being stalked by a mountain lion. This mountain lion is just stalking him, and he's looking at it and backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up. And this thing is just walking, and just, you can see him just, and at some point it just showed how quickly this thing could get up on you. At one, it just started, it came at him, and it got like this close to him, and he's like, "Get out of here." Rah, rah, making noise, they say you're supposed to make yourself look big and things like that. But it's like, you're not going to remember stuff like that too much. In that kind of action, you're not going to remember that stuff. Now, there's no mountain lions here in New York, but it's funny. There were a couple of sightings of some cougars further up north, because I'm in lower New York, upstate New York. Yeah, and I was like, whoa, bobcats up there and things like that. I've seen coyotes, and I've seen, in my neighborhood, we get skunks and raccoons and possums. I've seen possums, and they really do play dead. So, like, you jump, and they really do play that dead stuff. That's legit. I've been this close to skunks. Like, you see where my mic is? Like, maybe about this far from arm's length from a skunk. Like, that's how far I've been from a skunk. And it just looked at me, and I looked at him. And I remembering Billy the Exterminator saying, "You know when a skunk is about to spray, if that tail go up and it starts stomping its legs." And I was like, "Oh, you're not scared of me." I've been close to deer. Um, I've been close to animals when I was a kid. Growing up in Germany. Yeah, them big geese were bigger than me, and I was never scared of them. And geese are scary. Don't let it get. You see them big Canadian geese, and the ones that just and trust me, they will attack. I've seen, you know, and they come at you. I'm like, yo, it's always funny. You think the most harmless animals, but they're also the most fearless ones too. Um, that's why I always just say respect nature. Like, don't fuck with her because she will fuck you in the ass real quick if you disrespect her. And I mean that literally. I'm not even joking. Uh I'm dead serious about that. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Yes, wood. Yeah. Oh, it's wood. Oh, see? That's scary. Okay, yep. Get rid of it. It could have something probably attached to it. Yeah, I will not swim unless I'm sure the water's safe. Yeah. Yeah. Are you concerned that with Triple H wanting so many people back that we're we're let go from the causing the roster to get too clumsy? I have a fear about that, but we're not seeing that really I think Triple H is more he's going to be more understanding about it and more instead of we see how Tony Khan just sign, and I mean it's already you see that and you're just like, oh my god, like, and I'm and we're feeling that now, that fatigue in terms of belts. Me and Malcolm talk about this all the time. We're like, the amount of belts that are in AEW, it's ridiculous. It's like, yeah, he bought Ring of Honor. I get that. Ring of Honor has no TV show, so he wants to push that. I get that, but you got this. You got the main title. You got the TNA title, the TNT title. You got the TBS title, the women's. You got tag team. You got the trio belts. You just introduced the Mid Atlantic or belt or so, and all the belts that come from Ring of Honor. It's like so many freaking belts. It's like he's gonna add more. You know it. You know he is. WWE does not need to do that. They won't, and I hope they don't. Triple H will probably do the right thing. Uh, and I still enjoy Cartoon Network and comic. Yeah, no problem. So, which Nickelodeon Nicktoon would you like to see get a reboot or reimagination if done right? Real Monsters, Doug, Hey Arnold. Um, they already did Rugrats already. Rocco, maybe Rocco. Uh, I'm not gonna say Cat Dog because I never was a big fan of Cat Dog. I never really was. I liked the intro and that was about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. That's I don't. But growing up with Nickelodeon, I was a big Doug fan. I love Doug. I still love it to this day. I'll go back and watch Doug all the time when it was still Nickelodeon. When Disney took it, they fucked that up. They fucked that character up. I did not like that. So yeah. Any characters you're hoping for an Insomniac Wolverine game? I talked about that already. Um, in terms of Wolverine, yeah, I already did that already. I talked about that. Uh, So let's see what else we got. All right. And we got a bunch of crap that's in there. Don't mind the trolls. Don't mind the trolls. Let's see. What time is it? Okay. We'll get ready to wrap this up. Uh, but let's see what else. I'll just wait. In the meantime, let me read these comments. Yeah, Rey Mysterio moved back to SmackDown. Uh, um, Scream 3 house. Uh, Topanga filming location is now a Airbnb. Oh wow, the house that was in Scream 3 is a Airbnb. Cool. Let's see. All right. Let's see. D axis. I remember watching this man react to 911 calls. That was heartbreaking, especially the 911, 911, 911 calls. I did those. Somebody asked me to do those, and those I can't do those no more. I have told myself I will not listen to react to 911 calls because those break my heart. I can't do those. The last time I did, I nearly broke out crying because I was putting myself and family members into that. I remember there was one that I reacted to. It was an older woman. She was an elderly woman, and I just thought of my grandmothers, and I was just like, yeah, that messed me up. I remember listening to a teacher during the Columbine shootings, broke my heart. It was just like, oh Jesus, like she's just telling everybody, all the students, to get on the floor. I was just like, I remember listening to this family who was in a car. They couldn't stop. They just kept going until they crashed. I remember the one. There was a little girl, and she was had to be young, but she was able to call the police, and she called the police because her stepdad was beating her mom up and hitting her little sister, abusing. And she called, and you could hear this little girl, and I'm just breaking crying. I'm just like, oh my god. And I felt for even the 911 operator. She's trying to calm her down, and I was that broke my heart. I can't do those ever again. I won't do it. Those are videos I will never react to ever again. Whenever I do like reactions, because I put reactions on a certain day. I react to, like, but I won't do those ever again. I can't. My heart breaks. I can't do those. People think I had a lot of people on some of those reactions like, dude, man, you really are crying. I'm like, yeah, like I got a heart, man. I'm not cold. Like it's, it's not a joke. As a Doug fan growing up, do you like Doug and Patty being together as a couple, or Doug and Connie instead? As Doug and Patty, him when he did that thing with Connie, it was but he's a Doug's Patty. He's Patty mayonnaise all the way. And rest in peace to the actress who voiced her. She passed away not too long ago. But yeah, I remember the day he finally admitted to her that he loves her. He thinks about her all the time. The first time, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to be. Doug is proof that no matter what, we cannot be afraid to acknowledge if we like somebody. Tell them, at least let them know, even if it means you're going to get turned down. We as men, in my opinion, we are so afraid to be past that and says, "Well, you know, I no, I have a boyfriend, or I really don't like that." Trust me, I've had many times been told, been friend zoned, it stuck in friend zone. They like me because I'm this, or they'll say, "Oh, Chris, I like you, Chris, but you're too nice." Now, there's another side of me that is in my head that's like pissed off. I'm like, the fuck does that mean? I'm too nice, like. But I've had that said to me, like, I'm too nice. I don't want to hurt you. And it's like, how do you know if we don't give it a shot? You know what I'm saying? So Doug was definitely one of those people that proved, like, yo, no matter what, tell her. Tell her. I really I did. Um Thoughts on Duke Thomas Signal as a character. I like Duke. I like that's actually my that's actually my nickname, Duke. My father nicknamed me that. He still calls me that to this day, Duke. Um, I like Duke. I like the signal. Um, he stands out from like the other quote unquote. He's not a Robin, or if you want to, he kind of is, but he stands out. I like that. I like that indeed. So yeah, he's good. Yeah, I really hate the whole nice guys finish like that. That I don't buy that. I no. Um, no, I can't. Are you ready for the next scream? Yes, I am. I am ready for the next scream. Even though Sydney's not going to be in it, I am looking forward to it, and it is going to take place, I believe, in New York. It's not going to be in where it's usually. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Hayden is coming back, and Samara Weaving's going to be in it, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's my nickname too, Duke. My mom calls me that all the time. See, yeah, my dad calls me it, and my dad calls me. He's called me it since I was a kid. I'm 40 now, but and he still calls me it. My dad calls me Hot Rod as a nickname. To be honest, I hate Hot Rod from Transformers. I hate him because that fucker got Optimus killed. I will never forgive Hot Rod. I will never forgive him for that. I mean, I love kind-hearted characters. Yeah, kind hearts are good. Are you gonna watch the Walker prequel? I saw that. Um, I saw that. That's that prequel series that's gonna be on CW, which stars the actress who was the older version of Ollie's daughter. She's in that show, and basically it's supposed to explain the whole. It's more a prequel to the new Walker, not the Walker Texas Ranger Chuck Norris, the one I love. I still have not watched the one that Jared is on. I want to watch it. I am going to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. I don't know. CW shows just I don't watch a lot of CW. I really don't. The only thing I watch on CW is Superman and Lois. That's all I watch. I sometimes watch Stargirl to a degree, but other than that, I don't watch anything on there. I don't really care for it. I really don't. Let's see. What time is it? All right, guys. We're going to get ready to wrap this up. So get your last questions ready so we can get ready to wrap this up. I'll be back with another. I always do two open mics a month, so don't worry. Uh, uh, D Mike asks, Dante Waller fights tonight. I guess he's trying to make a comeback. Oh, really? Look, You know, as a fighter, Rocky said it best. You know, it ain't how hard you get hit; it's how hard you can get hit and keep coming forward and get. So yeah, I think I said it wrong, but you get the message. Rocky said it best. You know, as a fighter, you win some, you lose some. Not everybody can be undefeated. You know, he needs to put that loss aside and work his way back up. Sure. Um, uh, the Gypsy King is retired now, but yeah, I mean, go for it. I ain't gonna stop him. My nicknames are either Carol or Lily. Hmm. Or Lili or Lily or Lila. So got any thoughts on DC's Punchline as a character? I don't mind her. I don't mind that that's the new Joker's new girl. I don't mind her. I'm glad to see Harley make her own character. I know there are a lot of people that are burnt out on Harley Quinn. I know that. I know that. But I'm glad to see that she's finally stepping away from Joker and realizing she can be her own person. She don't need him, things like that. But it seems that DC will always feel that Joker needs a female sidekicker. So it is what it is. I don't mind it. I don't mind her at all. You know, I like that Harley confronted her and they had at with it. I thought that was cool. I was like, okay. But yeah, that's cool. All right. Is that it? That's all the questions? I think that's it. That's everyone's last questions. Oh, if that is the end, if that is, then guys, we're gonna end it right here. I want to thank everybody who came out and chilled with me for an hour or two. Um, I appreciate it as always, my pack. Thank you for watching and thank you for asking me questions and I answer your questions. It's all about having fun, right, my pack? But in the meantime, as always, you know my slogan: peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, I'll catch you guys next time. I will give you a date when we'll do the next one. But outside of that, deuces.